Later stages, a pool was built of the orchestra for mock naval battles and aquatic games. Another major Pan-Hellenic athletic event, the Isthmian Games, held in the city of Isthmia, were founded in commemoration of the death of the child hero Menikeres. Later, the games were dedicated to Poseidon, the god of the sea, who was said to be the first to tame horses and who organized the very first horse race ever. The Isthmian Games were held here following more or less the ceremonial pattern of the Olympic Games, including the winner's crown of time. There were nautical events as well as track and field, horse races, wrestling, and musical contests. Greek mythology is infused with the concept of competition and the quest for the atlas, involving both physical and mental strength. The Pythian Games, held every 4 years in Delphi, also had their roots in a mythical event, the killing of the dragon Python by Apollo. Pausanias mentions the saying that Diomedes, the hero of the Trojan War, was the first to establish the games in honor of Apollo. In any case, the very first contest of the Pythian involvement, a recitation of the epic deeds of Apollo, accompanied by the lion. Track and field events, horse racing and wrestling contests were added in the program much later, following the events included in the Olympics. There were, however, other additional events, like the long-distance races for boys and the chariot races with colts. The winners' wreaths were made from leaves of the laurel tree. The presence of Phoebus Apollo, a god totally pure, as Plutarch calls him, is still vivid in Delphi. Here it really seems possible for body and spirit, guided by the god of light and love, to reach the Athlos, the way ancient Greeks conceived it. The existence of many stadia and gymnasia proves a high level of civilization. Ancient Greece, from Crete to Macedonia, was in fact one big athletic field. Athleticism was a cult expressing the total dedication of all Greeks to the spirit of peaceful athletic competition. Everywhere we go, we hear the ancient call for athletics, addressed not only to those possessing the qualities of the good athlete, but also to everyone, regardless of physical structure, age, or special talents. In Dion, on the foothills of Mount Olympus, there was an important religious center that flourished for centuries. It was a city with ample public spaces, numerous monuments, and impressive fortifications. The Macedonians used to gather here to honor the Olympian gods, offering sacrifices and organizing athletic games in the big stadium and the nearby theater. In the island of Rhodes, as in all the Aegean islands, Athleticism was a cult. The Aeolian Games were held here in honor of the god Helios, the personification of the sun. Dodoni in Epirus, one of the oldest sanctuaries in Greece, was regarded as the favorite place of the Greeks. The supreme god has his oracle here, and people came on pilgrimage bringing precious gifts. Annual festivities, the Naian Games, were held in the Dodoni Theatre and the stadium in honor of Naian Zeus. In Plataeus, they held athletic games in commemoration of the Greek victory against the Persian army at the famous battle there. In Thebes, they honored Hercules, organizing athletic events bearing his name, the Herculean Games. Sicyon, a prosperous city situated near the present city of Kiato, had a flourishing civilization in ancient times. There was a gymnasium, a stadium, and a theatre at the Acropolis of the city where musical competitions were held. In the highlands of Corinthia, where the picturesque little village of Zugra stands now, the prosperous town of Pellini stood in antiquity. It had a glorious athletic record and was famous for the Theoxenian Games, athletic festivals organized in honor of Apollo. The prize for the winner of the games was a woolen cloak. The island of Delos, legendary birthplace of Apollo and Artemis, was the sacred island of antiquity. Pilgrims came all over Greece seeking divine and human inspiration in ritual ceremonies where athletic competition had a primary importance. The so-called Delian Games were held in the local stadium, surrounded by a whole complex of athletic facilities. Pausanias tells of a stadium and an adjoining large theatre in the island of Aegina.